Well, friends, I am thrilled to convene this meeting. And, Rotary One is the very first club in the world. So, this is our 5,603rd meeting since the club was inaugurated. So, we are getting ready to celebrate. Well, we started celebrating the birthday of Rotary last Thursday, and tomorrow we are going to have a major celebration uh, that is, if you look at the background behind me, it is a global event called The Sun Never Sets in Rotary. And if you haven't been in enough meetings, here you will have 24 hours of non-stop Rotary meetings all across the globe. We are divided into 24 slots. The club meeting you're attending to is the only club in the United States that has been invited to participate. And we have the pleasure to introduce to this global community the Paul and Jean Harris home. So stay tuned, join us tomorrow at 12. And you will hear the story of the renovation of the home. And also we're going to be telling about all the wonderful things that our club does, both in the community and globally as well. So one more thing, as I said earlier, we had been celebrating Rotary's birthday. And last Thursday, we had an Argentine wine tasting that incredibly so, in the middle of the most horrible snow and windstorm we've had in the last months, I would say. 75 guests came to the event, and as our guardian angel Karen Lynn said, nobody wanted to leave. The party was so good that we had to tell people, okay, bye, see you next time. But it was really fantastic. So we're going to give you more information as it comes along, but it was beautiful group of people, many people that have not heard about Rotary before. So all of us members of the club were more or less ambassadors of the club and ambassadors of Rotary, telling them what we are all about. So I would like to thank everybody who was involved. You see a picture of Alita Williams and me, and Alita, as you know, is our president nominee, and she was our caterer as well, and it was fantastic. So all right, and for those of you that are members or anybody who would like to go to our website, you can look on the website photos, and there's a Flickr album where you can take a look at all the photos. Okay, so and another announcement I would like to make now is that tomorrow, look at my background, we are going to be a part of this event. It is not a usually meeting day for Rotary because we meet on Tuesdays, as you know, but for this extraordinary occasion, we're going to have a meeting from 12 to 1. And there's also in our Facebook page the chronogram of meetings that are going to take place in different parts of the world. For example, if you would like to get in your computer using the same Zoom link that is in the ad that you see on the screen, you can hear about the Rotary clubs in South Africa. And after that, we're going to be introducing the blog from the United Kingdom. So, if it rains like it rains today, tomorrow is going to be a wonderful day to just, listen to 8 or 9 or 10 Rotary meetings if you have nothing else to do, okay? So, all right, well, now, what I would like to say about our rules, many of you know them. If you have any questions for our speaker, just enter them in the chat box and put your microphone on mute throughout the speaker presentation. And when you have questions, okay, try to have one question per guest. And then if we have more time, we'll, have more questions as well. So I am delighted to see you, David. Hirsch, present here. David has invited Jim as a speaker. David is one of the co-chairs of our programs committee. And I will cede the floor to you, David, so you can introduce Jim to the rest of us.
Marga, thanks for the introduction. Great to be with everybody. And it's my pleasure to be introducing our featured speakers, Jim Elliott and Tinamarie Hernandez. Jim is the founder and president of Diveheart, and Tinamarie Hernandez is the executive director. So by brief way of introduction, Jim is a Chicago area native, father of 2 daughters. He's a graduate of Northern Illinois University, and he worked in the media here in Chicago for a better part of 2 decades, primarily at the Tribune, WGN Radio, and CLTV News. And since 2001, he is the founder and president of Diveheart, a not-for-profit organization that allows youth, adults, and veterans who have cognitive as well as physical disabilities to participate in scuba diving. And Tinamarie is also a graduate of Northern Illinois University, and she's worked at Accenture, where she's been for 24 years, and she works there full-time. And she's also the executive director of Diveheart and has been since 2014. And the reason I'm so excited to hear from these 2 friends of mine is that I went through the Diveheart buddy training. I think it was in 2017, the fall of 2017, with my daughter Emily. And we went down to Cozumel, Mexico, and we learned how to work with blind, paraplegic, and quadriplegic individuals. And we had 2 individuals who were paraplegics. So we do our coursework in the morning, and then that's like in the water on land. And then we got to go scuba diving with these 2 individuals with paraplegia. And it was an enlightening and eye-opening experience. And from a personal perspective, it was an exercise in humility. And the reason I say that is that we had to role play. So I was paired up with another individual for the training purposes, and we would switch off. Okay, it's your turn to be a blind person. Okay, it's your turn to be the paraplegic. Oh, it's your turn to be the quadriplegic. And you're actually like putting on your scuba diving equipment, whether you're blind, a paraplegic, or quadriplegic, going into the water, and then switching roles. And I love scuba diving. I love the mission of Diveheart, and I love these 2 individuals. And I know that we're in for a treat today. So thank you for joining us. I'm looking to learn more about Diveheart. The floor is yours, Tinamarie and Jim.
We love you too, and it's nice to see your familiar face as well as Marshall and others there.
Ditto. Thank you very much for such a nice introduction. And I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of these stories that we have laid out for you guys today.
Yeah, Rotary has been a big part of growth for Diveheart. We had no idea that we would be in Malaysia and doing programs in China, Australia, Israel, all over the world. So it's a pleasant surprise. It keeps us pretty busy. But we believe a picture's worth 1,000 words. So if we could show you some of our stuff. And last year we were a winner of an Emmy that was created for an organization called ShareCare, and they teamed up with the National Association of Arts and Sciences, the people that create the Emmys.
Academy, yeah.
And then they asked us to submit a video along with like the Lung Association and Heart Association, other medical groups. So this first piece we're going to play won us an award this last year, and it was put together, which is cool, by these 3 young.
They were high school students at the time. So 3 young ladies who wanted to do a profile on Diveheart, and their efforts got an award, which is really nice.
Yeah.
All right, we will share this with you now.
I broke my neck in July of 2016. I went over to a friend's house, and he had a bicycle jump set up. And after my friends encouraged me to try it once or twice, I said, oh, why not? What the hell? And I probably could have done it 1,000 times, but this one way that I landed, I just immediately lost the use of my legs and my triceps. My arms didn't really work. I was frantically struggling to try to get to the surface of the water. My friends had to jump in and save my life. I was an inpatient at Shirley Ryan Ability Lab for around 4 months. And as I was getting out of inpatient rehab, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life and how I was going to spend my days. Definitely wasn't interested in sitting in the house all day. Somebody turned me onto a flyer that said Diveheart on it.
Diveheart's a 501c3 nonprofit. Our mission at Diveheart is to help children, veterans, and others with disabilities through what we call scuba therapy in pools primarily. That's where the heavy lifting is done, but we also take them on trips down to Florida and Cozumel to get them in deeper water where we've seen significant benefits. If we can get them deep enough, there's an extra output of serotonin, which helps them with pain management and anxiety.
My first dive in the ocean was so amazing. You can't put it to words. The colors and the feeling of weightlessness. I would say that feeling of absolute freedom from not just my wheelchair, but gravity as well. You can't compare it to anything, and I'm doing a really bad job of explaining it because you can't put it to words.
Each individual with a disability can inspire people around them. It's kind of like a ripple effect. When somebody sees you in a wheelchair and they go, "What'd you do this weekend?" You went, "Well, I went scuba diving." And they're like, "Yeah, right, you went scuba diving. Yeah, sure, you're in a wheelchair. How do you do that?" And then, you show them video and photos and stuff like that, and people go, "Oh my God, that is so cool." And it creates a paradigm shift in their life. And they no longer then self-identify as somebody with a disability. They self-identify as a diver, as a scuba diver. They're just like everybody else. One of our mottos is to imagine the possibilities, and that's what we want really people to do is focus on maybe what you can do instead of what you can't do. One of my favorite dives is simply in a pool with a young lady named Erin. And on one half of the pool, there's a bunch of young girls, and I had Erin on the other side of the pool, and she's moving the best she can. And these young girls look underwater, and I can tell they're going, like, "Oh my God, what is this?" And they would pop up. I go, "You guys, Erin thinks you're a mermaid." So they went, "Oh my God, we're mermaids." And they like totally turned into mermaids. And they swam over like a mermaid would swim over. And they got close to Erin. And then they looked at her. I could tell they wanted to like reach out to her. She was reaching out to them. They said, "It's okay, you guys fist bump her. She wants to say hi." So they came up and they're fist bumping her and stuff like that. When Erin came to the end and we took her full face mask off, she turns to her mom and dad on deck. She goes, "I saw mermaids." I mean, it was really powerful stuff.
Since my injury, I would say the thing I've struggled with the most has been patience. When you live your whole life as an able-bodied person, you're used to getting things when you want them and being able to do things on your own all the time. So it might take you 10 minutes to take a shower, but for me, we kind of multiply that by about 5 or 10.
The thrill for me is when I get a guy out of a wheelchair and he looks down and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm standing up for the first time since my injury." And it makes them independent.
Just being able to get out of my house and meet some new friends, go on a vacation, get underwater has been absolutely amazing. This team has helped me not just do things like grab some food from the buffet, but helped to make it possible for me to go on the trip. So it's absolutely amazing that there are people like this in the world and that they come together to help people like me.
What we really want to do in the long run is have a destination, a pool, where we can go deep enough to actually replicate some of the benefits that we see in open water. But right now we're opening up the search, and if anybody knows anybody that wants to be part of a multi-million-dollar project, give us a call.
I just want to sincerely thank everybody from Diveheart and all of the volunteers, and especially people who maybe have never even heard of Diveheart, but just maybe have donated $1 or $2 or $5 or anything. I just want to sincerely thank them from the bottom of my heart.
So these young ladies entered this. They're from Glenbrook South, and they entered this in a film, national film festival, high school film festival. So we were very, very happy and proud to be able to share this with you. And our YouTube channel and our media kit has a lot of these types of stories. And that's where we'd send people if they want to find out more about us, really is, click on the media kit and go through that. And it just tells you so many amazing things. So
Any questions now, or we'll go to our next, if you guys want to hold off, it's up to you.
So this next piece CNN did, and actually 2 years ago, we were able to win another Emmy from ShareCare based on this piece, and we hope you enjoy it.
Here we go.
One of the coolest things is when we take a diver with a disability in open water, the word freedom comes up over and over and over again because that's how they describe their feeling. My name is Jim Elliott, founder and president of Diveheart. We help people with disabilities using zero gravity and scuba therapy. It's a great equalizer. We take their new normal in some cases, and we help create a paradigm shift. So now the individual with the disability isn't defined by their disability. And they go into a room and people say, you do what? You scuba dive? That's impossible. You're in a wheelchair. Back a little bit. Okay, guys, come up.
I was on my bicycle and I was struck by a car and I hurt my T11 vertebrae and severed my spinal cord. I knew that all of a sudden when I lost the feeling and the ability to move my legs that life had changed.
When I was 23 years old, I dove into a pool and I dislocated my C6, C7 vertebra, which led me to be paralyzed from my neck down. I'm totally dependent from someone else all the time. I suffer from neurological pain and I take medication for that. But every time I get into the water, I feel better. I don't feel pain for a couple of days. So I love it.
We see immediate pain relief. Individuals with everything from MS to spinal cord injuries and cerebral palsy can become pain-free if we can get divers deep enough to 66 feet, which is 3 atmospheres. There's an extra output of serotonin in the human body. The serotonin will help with the pain management up to 3 weeks. It just helps their quality of life in so many different ways, you know, body, mind, and spirit.
Diving is just amazing because I get out of this position and I can kind of do whatever I want and get in whatever position I want, which you don't get to do on land. When you're kind of stuck to a chair, being weightless is one of the best feelings.
I was looking at myself standing up, and that was for me fabulous. I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm seeing myself standing up again. After I imagine so many years, 15 years that I got my accident. I feel like total independent. I feel like freedom, liberty out of the power chair. It's me again.
I love that line that he uses, "It's me again," right? You can only imagine what he's going through. The nice thing about what we do too is the change happens so quickly. So my oldest daughter's blind and I got her involved in downhill skiing. It turned her life around, but it takes weeks and weeks of going out on a hill and training and getting adapted, you know, acclimated to the equipment and learning how to use your edges and the fall. I mean, there's so much and it takes so much time. In really like 30 minutes, we can get somebody with a disability, boom, dialed in, using their breath to control their buoyancy, right?
Right. I mean, we've been so blessed to have people who are really talented capture what we do when we go on these trips or when we're at the pool. The heavy lifting, we like to say, is at the pool programs that we offer. And we offer those to people free of charge. So even though it costs money to get the programs up and running, that's what our donation dollars go to a lot of times. It goes to helping run those pool programs and then helping get people on some of these trips. You know, we've had a lot of conversations over this past year about, you know, people with disabilities have just as much urge and desire and need to go on a trip that introduces them to different parts of the world or different ways of enjoying themselves as the rest of us. And being able to give people that opportunity is wonderful and something that we're going to be back at and doing. We just took our first trip after 2 years in December, and we had 41 divers, and that included 8 people with disabilities, as well as the rest of us that were there to help, and then a couple of guest divers that came that just wanted to experience it with our trip with us. And our next one will be in May, and we're looking forward to that. We already have people signed up.
Yeah, the December trip, we also had a filmmaker come from Los Angeles to do a documentary on us, and it was an amazing story. And David actually is helping us through Chaz Ebert, Roger Ebert's widow, perhaps get a premiere at the Gene Festival, Gene Siskel Film Center at the Art Institute. So we're going to keeping our fingers crossed that that's going to happen. So
Be sure that we'll let you know if we,
yeah,
if when the premiere comes out, no matter where we're going to show it.
yeah. Any questions at all? The next piece that we have shows, kind of highlights our veterans program. This particular piece was aired on WTTW. Jay Shefsky did it. Yeah, what's nice is Jay really liked it, and he's repeated it several times. So we never know when it's going to air. So it's very rewarding and evergreen.
People with disabilities have been proving for years that no sport is off limits. And whether or not an athlete has a disability, every sport can offer physical and emotional benefits. Scuba diving, it turns out, offers special benefits for people with post-traumatic stress disorder and spinal cord injuries, as well as autism. Here's Jay Shefsky.
It's the closest thing you'll ever experience to being an astronaut on Earth. We get guys in wheelchairs, and when we can get them standing up and neutrally buoyant, they look down, they see themselves standing, like for the first time since their injury, and it's like.
Since 2001, Jim Elliott has taught scuba diving to adults and children with disabilities. They learn in a pool west of Chicago, and some go on diving trips to the Caribbean. Today, Jim is working with a group of veterans. Chris McLanathan is married and has a 3-year-old son. He was active duty Army from 2010 to 2014 and did one tour in Afghanistan.
I came back and I had pretty severe PTSD. And so, you know, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of veterans end up taking their own lives. So I was not successful. And you tried? I did try. And it, you know, as a result, I lost my legs. And, you know, it kind of turned around after that.
David Garner was in the Air Force.
I served between 1972 and 1976 during the Vietnam era. I had a stroke back in 2010, which paralyzed the whole right-hand side of my body.
David lost his leg 2 years later to peripheral artery disease.
At first, I was really, really devastated. I didn't think I would, you know, be able to do anything. What saved me is sports. It gave me a purpose. It gave me a new lease on life that I can do anything anybody else can.
David has tried skiing, archery, cycling, kayaking. Now, scuba diving.
Our mission is to build confidence, independence, and self-esteem.
But along the way, they've learned of other benefits.
We work with university medical centers all over the country, finding out that if we get people deep enough in zero gravity, it can benefit PTSD symptoms in veterans. It can help with chronic spinal cord pain.
Scientists from Johns Hopkins University accompanied Diveheart and 12 vets with spinal cord injuries on a diving trip to the Caribbean.
And they found that when you get them deep enough, 66 feet underwater, there's an extra output of serotonin in the human body, and that helps with pain management and anxiety. 80% of the PTSD symptoms were alleviated.
Quinn Triplett is an Army veteran with 2 tours of duty in Afghanistan. He's a firefighter and runs Diveheart's veterans program. He started as a participant 5 years ago to help with his own PTSD.
My brain, calms my thinking, allows me to slow down a little bit so that I can actually get some sleep and just relax and not be so anxious.
Diveheart works with children with a wide range of disabilities.
Midwestern University in Downers Grove did the first study on autism and scuba therapies. When you go underwater, it eliminates surface distractions, and the ambient pressure helps them focus. And kids we thought were nonverbal will stand up and go, "I loved it. Can I do that again?" And we're like, "Is this the same kid?"
Diveheart is 100% volunteer run and completely free to participants. Jim started Diveheart after many years of teaching blind people to ski, including his own daughter.
I
think we all need to be loved, valued, and have a purpose. Because if we can take the unrealized human potential that exists in veterans and others with disabilities and create a paradigm shift, it's not Johnny in a wheelchair anymore. It's Johnny the scuba diver. And what it does is it gives them value and gives them a purpose again. What does all this give you?
It makes me feel like I can do anything. I might not do it like other people do it, but I'll get the job done.
All right, so what do you think? Oh man, it's great. You know, it's like you get in the water and it's like I'm not missing anything. It feels very free to be down here and not have to wear prosthesis or be in a wheelchair. You know, I don't feel disabled under the water.
For Chicago Tonight, this is Jay Shefsky.
And you can find out more about Diveheart on our website.
So, yeah, that was some of our veterans programs. If you were to go to YouTube, on our Diveheart YouTube, and click playlists, and you'd see all the military stories and all the medical stories. And we've done 11 years of adaptive scuba symposiums with university medical centers around the country.
Right, just this past year in 2021, we had our symposium that focused on two of occupational therapy and recreational therapy. And we introduced that this past year, a course that recreational therapists, physical therapists, and occupational therapists can all get continuing education credit for hearing Jim and I speak for an hour. Isn't that great? But we talk about scuba therapy, what it is and how it helps people. And then we also talk to them about how they can incorporate scuba diving into their practice or help their clients gain access to a program. We also had 5 occupational therapy doctoral candidates work with us last year, and they helped us not only develop that continuing education program, they helped us with designing tools. So one of the tools that we share with facilities is a way to discuss scuba diving and scuba therapy with a client, as well as determine whether it might be a good fit for them and how to get contact with us and how to get them into a program.
Are there any questions at all?
But thank you for a wonderful presentation. Like you said, the picture tells 1,000 words. And if a picture tells 1,000 words, I don't know how many words a video tells. But you know that as a fellow Rotarian, Rotary likes to think big. And one of the ideas that I know that you've shared with me over the past year or two is what I think of as your moonshot idea. And I'm wondering if you can just share briefly with those that are with us and those that will be listening, what your moonshot idea is.
Well, everyone can't run out to the Caribbean or to Florida to experience this and get the depth that we need to get. So one of our goals is to build a deep warm water therapy pool complex that would be a destination, really. And we are looking in Lake County, and we have North Chicago actually we met with the mayor. They've given us a letter that says we're going to get a gift of land. This filmmaker is agreed to help us create a marketing video as well. So we're kind of, once this documentary comes out, we're going to do that, and then we're going to try to get that in front of some folks that might be able to help us get money for the first phase of this, so that we can vet the land, do borings, because it's going to be a deep water pool. If you right now Google deep pool Italy, for example, you'll get images of the pool in Italy that's, I think, 137 feet deep, right?
Yeah, it's wide 40
Yeah.
meters.
And of course, Dubai and South Korea decided to go to 200 feet, I think. So, it's kind of a race now but there's 5 of them out there. Ours is going to be very different design. Schiff Harden's our law firm, and we have 6 patents we applied for. One was granted last year. As you know, it takes years to get patents through, but we're very excited about that, and making it public, hopefully this year.
Right. Yeah. This is going to be, a multi-year, multi-pool event. But what we're trying to do is, we're always about research and furthering the research and furthering the opportunities. And, in the community that we're going to bring it to, they don't have a pool at all currently. So not only are we bringing it there, for us to live there, but also reaching out to that community and connect with them and hopefully get some of their population into a pool and maybe learn how to swim or learn about water safety and things like that. So we're really excited about this project.
Yeah, we'll be close to Great Lakes Naval Base and Lovell VA Hospital and Rosalind Franklin and folks that we can do research with and vets that we can help. So that's kind of the long game, right?
Yeah. We had another question, I know.
Yes, I have in fact a question from Marshall Schmidt, who is present in this call as well. But then, Jim, Marshall is asking, what does it mean to you to help so many people in such a fundamental way? And of course, it goes to Tinamarie as well. Wow,
it's emotional. I start getting choked up just thinking about it. It's so rewarding. I don't draw a salary. I donate every year to Diveheart personally. And I just think that when you can change people's lives like this, it just, you can't help but getting back to, it's why we're in Rotary, right? It's why we're in service to others. And I get to do this. And in 30 minutes, I get to watch somebody's face just glow and the smiles are amazing. And even if they don't get in the pool with us again, sometimes they go on and take on other challenges that they wouldn't have taken on before.
Right. I think it's very transformational for people. And the way that I put it for a lot of, Jim mentioned I work for Accenture and I've been with them, it'll be 25 years in April. But I tell people Accenture pays my bills and Diveheart pays my soul. And it is truly that, working with and for Diveheart, what was it? How many years? 12 years now. It's changed me and I've gotten the pleasure of seeing it change so many other people's lives, both the volunteers and the participants. I remember having a conversation with a parent. Her daughter was volunteering for us and she said, you don't understand the change I've seen in her. She was always very quiet, always very, behind the scenes and not wanting to be out there. And she says, and then she starts volunteering for you guys and she's found a voice because she is so about telling other people about what she does and what she experiences. And, her parents were thrilled to see this change. And, I'm sure part of it was just growing up too, but it's wonderful to be a part of that and changing lives on all ends.
Yeah, something transformational that just happened to us on this December trip is this filmmaker was just coming to do a story about Diveheart, right, and adaptive diving, and interview the 8 people we had on the trip and the volunteers. We met him in July, and that's when we planned this trip. And so prior to the trip, he had done all the backstories and interviews with the individuals going on the trip. And a week before he came on the trip, Thanksgiving, he had his son over to the house who had an opioid addiction problem. And his son passed away on Thanksgiving, a week before he was supposed to come on this trip. And he kind of said, what do I do? And he decided he wasn't going to go down the rabbit hole, but he would go on the trip, and he didn't say anything to anyone. And what I like to do, and David will tell you, that the first day we go around the room and interview 40 people basically, and everybody gets to know who's in the room and what we're doing there and who's the instructors and everything and who's training. And then the last night, we've all become family, right? We've struggled together and helped each other and stuff. And this filmmaker and his brother would, when they weren't filming, they were pushing people to their rooms in wheelchairs. That's the kind of guys they were. And the last night, somebody said, after everyone else had talked, they said, why don't you ask the filmmaker what he thought? And he said, he told a funny story about some episode during the trip. And then he said, no one knew this, but my son came to my house and he spent a few minutes talking about what happened, and everyone's mouth just fell. And all of a sudden the story changed from being about Diveheart. In fact, I don't think they mentioned Diveheart till the end. And it's about him and his journey and his coping with this. And I didn't realize he was doing this, but every day in the morning, he was getting up by the pool and he was filming himself and where he was in this struggle and dealing with his son's death, and how he was learning from the adaptive divers and how they were changing his life. And he said it was transformational for him. So I can't wait to share that with all of you. It's going to be a home run.
Oh, this is so powerful, Jim. I have a question from Jason Conger, who is the scuba diver friend of one of our members. And Jason is asking, I have 3-5 scuba instructors that are interested in being certified to work with people with disabilities. Do you offer this type of training?
Yes, because we are an agency that offers adaptive certifications for people, not only adaptive divers, but the people who want to assist them in the water. So Jason, feel free to email us, Jim or myself, and we can start getting something together where you and your scuba buddies can get certified. And then offer these programs to the people you work with currently.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have to say, this is so emotional. And I have to say that all our members listening to what you're telling us are so grateful that you are here with us, especially today. And like many of those your students said, their lives change from 1 minute to the next one. And hope is what keeps us striving for better things in life, or a better life. So well, I'm sure many people tell you this, but what you are doing is so profoundly beautiful. So thank you very much on behalf of all of us who are here.
Thank you.
And well, Tinamarie and Jim, here is a token of our appreciation for your inspiring presentation. We are continuing with part of our program. Of course, you are welcome to stay. I'm sure, Jim, you've been in many Rotary clubs. Tinamarie, are you a Rotarian as well?
I am not. I'm sure I will be before the end of all this is through. I typically will present. Yeah, I go with Jim and then I'll present. So I've done many a Rotary meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, it's a matter of time, right? So what you do is so in the spirit of what we all do and what we all care about. So, I think you're already welcome in the family. You just need to get the paperwork done, okay?
And if you know of any other clubs that would like a program like this, please let them know. And we've been able to present at Rotary clubs all over the world thanks to Zoom. So.
Very good. Yes, I have a couple of them. So yes, I can think of somebody already. Okay. Well, again, you're welcome to stay with us and share. We're going to be introducing some of the guests that are participating in this call. We introduce Alberto Rosa from Córdoba, Argentina. And we also have Nadia Navarrete, who from Paraná, Argentina. Hi, Nadia.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's nice to see you again with us. I made sure that both of you connected in different provinces.
Yes, it's really awesome to be able to join this. And thank you so much for that presentation because it was really, really amazing and inspiring.
Well, thank you for being with us today. Both Alberto and Nadia are always welcome to join us. And I see here Jacqueline Bolan. So welcome, Jacqueline. So Jacqueline has recently emigrated from Wilmette to the city of Chicago. So she left her club to join our club, and she's among our newest members. So it's so good to have you here with us. Okay, and then who else do I see here? Well, Jason, I hope you come back to tell us how the training is going with Jim. All right, when you do it, and then let me see if there's anything else. Let's see. Well, I see Jody Santaford, whom Jean and Tinamarie know very well. Jody has been telling me the various trips he took with Diveheart. So, welcome, Jody. Are you in the UP?
Hi, Marga. Hi, everyone. Yep, still in the UP, getting about 25 inches of snow in 36 hours. So Living the dream.
So we should not complain about rain here. My goodness.
Yeah, I need a different
Okay.
time here.
Well, right. Is there Ronald, you told us that you come from the Popo Rotary Club in Michigan, right? I think we can't hear you.
Yes.
There you go.
The Pawpaw Lake, right close to Lake Michigan. Pawpaw Lake is maybe 5 miles from Lake Michigan.
All right. Well, we're very happy to have you with us, and come back next week as well.
We enjoy doing that. I've been on once before, and I would look forward. Thank you.
Say,
Wonderful.
Marga, this is Marshall. I don't mean to interrupt, but Pawpaw Lake has a very distinguished place in Rotary history.
Yes.
We have pictures of a meeting that Paul Harris convened of the club there, where they did some very hilarious hijinks. He was a bit of a prankster, and so sometime we should share those pictures with you. But Pawpaw Lake is significant Rotary history.
They had some of their first meetings, from what we understand there, and it's right along Pawpaw Lake there, and it was right by Strong's Resort at that time. In fact, I had my wedding reception there, the same place they met.
Well, were you a Rotarian when you got married?
Just after I got married. I'd been a Rotarian with perfect attendance for 39 years.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations. That is impressive, Roland. So, well, we're very happy to see you here with us. All right. Well, I think I have everybody that I see in the list. I see our usual friends like Pancho and Ted and Mark. I will proceed now with some of our announcements. As you know, this is the time where we're promoting the Job One program. Jim, in case you are interested, Job One is a signature program of our club, and we provide a summer internship for juniors and seniors that attend Chicago schools, and also our residents in the city of Chicago. So this program has been going for 17, 18 years. It is just wonderful. We have very talented students that participate in the program. And in this time of the year, we're looking for employers who would like to take one of the students that are prepared and coached by our fellow members. So take a look at the email address. You can contact Alita, who is the chair of this wonderful program. And if you know of any employers, please let us know, because we have many students and we always need employers. So that's it for Job One. Thank you, Tamara, for dropping the link. And also, our next event coming in the spring for the 9th year is the Chicago Woman of the Year. As you know, this is one of the biggest events we have in our Rotary year. We sometimes have, 250, like it says there, 150 to 250 attendees each year. And I pray that COVID, even this new variant that is popping up, is not that bad, so we can have another big gathering in May to celebrate women that have done extraordinary work in Chicago. So in nonprofits, or however their activities are. So we are also taking nominees that you can recommend, and you can contact Lisa Russ, and there's her email address at the bottom of the slide, or contact the office at rotary1.club. All right. So another item that we have the committees. We have a new month starting already. So our committees and having all their monthly meetings. Never is a time it's late to join a committee, and if you are in WEM, that is where the fun is in Rotary, besides of course having amazing speakers. But in these committees, you really get a lot of work done which is of great impact in our communities. So just check on the dates: PR Marketing, Job One, the Community Service Committee, who does work locally in Chicago, International Service Committee, and the Membership Committee. And we're always looking, if you would like to help us in membership, your fellow members that are present here. Laura has been called to she has won a place in a very, very important training that is going to take her away from us for a few weeks during the times that our club meets. So we're looking for somebody who can help us with the membership committee, and please contact the office and let us know if you would like to give us a hand, and then we are going to be very, very grateful. All right. So then, I have, if you have more questions, we still have time, so we're doing pretty well with time. Would you like to ask more questions to Jim? I can tell you a little bit more about the event that is taking place tomorrow. The sun never sets in Rotary. So if you haven't participated in a global event that brings together clubs from many countries, this is it, and you can do it from your own desk or your own, or sitting in your car with your phone. But there are countries, the UK, Romania, Ukraine, most countries from Latin America, that are going to be talking. There are going to be 1-hour meetings in each country. So you can take a peek of what is happening in other places and, make your Rotary connections. And it cannot be easier than that, because Rotary is about networking, not only locally, but globally. So I invite you to join us. There is a Zoom link that you will see in our Facebook page. And also, if you can see in the background, it's up there above my head. But take a part of it. Okay. So I have Lisa Ross. I think there's something you would like to share with us. Would you like to go ahead?
Oh, thank you. And I really appreciate the shout out. As we did last year, we are asking not only our own members, but our district friends and your colleagues, if there is a person that you would like to honor. And as Marga said, we are so hoping that we are able to do this in person, and we'll just keep crossing our fingers. We did have a really neat Zoom event last year, but of course, nothing beats in person. So you'll be seeing more information. Thank you, Tamara and the office, for getting that circulated, and Marga, really appreciate it. So thanks so much.
Of course. Thank you, Lisa, for what you're doing. It's 9 years, and this program keeps growing. So thank you for bringing that to our club. Yeah, way to go. All right. The floor is open. Is there something you would like to share? No? Okay. Well, I think we can close our meeting. And Jim, since I have you here, we traditionally close our meetings reciting the 4-way test. So Shelby, could you upload this slide? All right. So could you recite the 4-way test?
Absolutely. The 4-way tests are the things we think, say, or do. Number 1, is it the truth? Number 2, is it fair to all concerned? Number 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Number 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Well, Jim, thank you. Tinamarie, thank you. David, thank you as always for bringing fabulous speakers to our club. And I wish you the very best, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at noon. All right. So we can stay a bit longer if you would like some social time, but with this, I declare the meeting closed.